Namo Pancho Shiye, Namo Su Shiye, Namo Damo Shiye Sohan. Chidang Zuge Chona La Janju Badu Nani Gyapsu Chi, Dagi Junyen Gibe Sonangi, Yola Benje Sangi Juba Shu. Chidang Zuge Chona La Janju Badu Nani Gyapsu Chi, Dagi Junyen Gibe Sonangi, Yola Benje Sangi Juba Shu. Chidang Zuge Chona La Janju Badu Nani Gyapsu Chi, Dagi Junyen Gibe Sonangi, Yola Benje Sangi Juba Shu. 其本地就是没主张，让内心一点点发的，上街心都没得不话语，就跟那大心那就把说，我说让那门大拉岗的呀大呀咪。Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. And think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but for numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not want even a small suffering, due to engaging wrongly in objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience any happiness but suffering. In our minds, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to have happiness and the causes of happiness, that is, virtues. May they have happiness and the causes of happiness. I will cause them to have happiness and the causes of happiness. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we cultivate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if the bodies of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class accordant with accomplishing virtue, such as physical pain, sickness, and problems caused by 4 elements. May their bodies be free from the discordant class. I will free their bodies from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as mental suffering, fear, and all coarse and subtle negative discursive thoughts. May their minds be free from the discordant class. I will free their minds from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
Digi Dumani, Digi Mandri, Hobbies, imagining about Tara, Dawach, the Vesha, the Rashini, the Lamala, Shizu,
How nice it would be if the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with a conflicting virtue, or coarse and subtle and negative speech, such as lying. May their speech be free from the discordant class. I will free their speech from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
They just know that demanding a course and be short of them. How do they or you don't have a short lesson in the Lamala,
How nice it would be if the three doors of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the discordant class. May their three doors be free from the discordant class. I will free their three doors from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
the country, we had a doji to do what the shit or the Shini, the Lamala,
How nice it would be if mother sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will free them from suffering and the causes of suffering. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
I think it is a time called and a simple to do Singapore. Near on up with the Dinegas in Yantava, sending to one of the Nibone. The Nibasuba, Yantava, sending a city, sending tomorrow, which didn't get over shower. This is never going to change the same.
Next, we generate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who would take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of lower realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of lower realms. Even though I should take on the responsibility, I do not have the ability to do so now. Who has such ability? Only those who have achieved the perfectly complete enlightenment have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment.
Desde seja contribuição de computação, se batem em cada eixo, da geração do modo tomar de seja o que ele tem tentando de se levar em cada eixo da política, hoje que ele se não do bate de que então se não bate ainda que seja isso.
Means we generate all-encompassing yoga mind, the aspiring conventional bodhicitta that thinks, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. These transform into a perfect, complete mundis at one's heart. And the ultimate bodhicitta, that is one's mind becoming in one taste with emptiness, that all phenomena lack of inherent existence. That transform into a white five-pronged vajra on top of the mundis.
是到普的到普的人这个记得的后面，然后这个多啊，然后你让一我记得住呢，最差的店面记得住，差的能这么点个住的，最差的可能那个人，这都是那个出现，什么？
Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while. That I does not exist inherently one with or inherently different from the aggregates. Thus, I does not exist inherently. If I and the aggregates were inherently one, they would become inseparably partless one. If I and the aggregates were inherently different, they will become unrelatedly other. Thus, I does not exist inherently one with or inherently different from the aggregates.
我就拿去到办许多那些公司就别再看，现在就是科学这个能力的速度的什么呢？等到全国身上，干嘛把它动一什么，就给我什么拿些，那我就直接那个来年少公司，这个的全世界同就台湾中国的应该对吧？切的你这东西要不那个最多呢，那个是别在的先说，那些发现那个是那是。
As I always mention, it is important to conjoin the roots of virtue of our three doors with the practice of six perfections. Thus, to conjoin this session with the practice of six perfections, the first one is generosity. The nature of generosity is a mind of giving. These 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma is for the sake of purifying the suffering and achieving happiness of sentient beings.
我第一就是最是我的那个过什么，自己我什么那些，就是那个人啊，也上或者几个是另外给你建议朋友都没就吃给他帮帮你，那个年上或者结果第一个是别的的，这种的搞的挺难的事情，但是。
Next is morality. The nature of morality is a mind of abandonment. And during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will properly abandon my physical and verbal negativities so that they do not manifest.
这就是这个时候的嘛，就们注意什么是我什么东西，年上或者几年上或者几个是，以前呢，等于的刚刚开始就呢，你当到的学土平安的，刚年上或者结果呢，一个是别在的几个是哪里是哪里是。
Next is patience. The nature of patience is an undisturbed mind. During these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will patiently accept any physical or mental hardships or suffering that occurs.
这就是给我的注意什么的，把它整理成我什么东西，把它年上或者结果了，给我的看头呢，根据整理什么呢，也是或者基本整理什么呢，第一个是给这整理出来的东西，没事。
Next is joyous effort. The nature of joyous effort is a mind that takes delight in virtue. I will delightfully and enthusiastically engage in listening to, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma.
这就是上帝说的，去给你我搞出去了，你呢，看到自己的你把这看到上帝是我什么东西，那我说年上或者基本上是那么多的那样我都把忙说，年上不是基本第一小我对了把身体要，因为对吧？呢，这个是给他的，让他上帝还是哪里是哪里是。
Next is concentration. The nature of concentration is a mind that single-pointedly focuses on any virtuous object. I will single-pointedly focus my mind on the virtuous object without being influenced by distractions and discursive thoughts.
其他的东西是把这些东西我是把东西，那年上或者基本知道别人讲的那电视就完了，我也不去把心都把什么呢？
And last one is wisdom. The nature of wisdom is a knower that thoroughly distinguishes phenomena. I will properly and unmistakably understand the words and teachings of the Dharma that I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on. If I'm able to do so, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of six perfections. Also, it's important to set a good motivation. Thus, to set a good motivation, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For these, I will listen to the Mahayana teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings. So today we are going to refer to the general meaning of the fourth chapter. In other words, it's oceans of sports. So, I would like to, as it briefly talks about the aspects of the three exalted knowers, and even when we say that we are going to focus on the fourth chapter, then we are not able to go through the whole chapters. Because in between there are many debates and etc. So we will go through the main points. So the fourth chapter is called Application in Complete Aspects. Its main object of indication is application in complete aspects, and in it talks about the 173 aspects. So in the first three chapters, the aspects of the three exalted knowers are explained or are already indicated. So then here it says in the fourth chapter, so someone has a doubt saying that, is there a fault of redundancy in teaching the aspects of the three exalted knowers that has already indicated in the first three chapters and also teaching them in each chapter? So there is a doubt. So however, the answer is no. So there is no fault of redundancy because the aspects of the three exalted knowers are taught individually in the first 3 chapters, whereas in this chapter they are taught collectively.
刚第一个是讲的，刚的其实那么对这样的五百个人也是这个是修的哇，他更多的更是个一个是其实那么对的嘛的是，他对的对个吧的五百个人是这个当部说的被其实那么对说结果对上了哇，这个现在的第一个是更是那个想着，其实那么对的对啊的是，这对了，他五百个人是他的修，五百的其实那么对的五百些钱是，其实那么对的五百些钱也是怎么的哇。계속 넘버 뒤에 땜버로 그바까지 계속 넘버 뒤에 공부하셔야 치고 또 계속 넘버 뒤에 땜버
So the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers are extensively indicated in the first 3 chapters. So what is the purpose of indicating collectively the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers in this context? So the purpose is for the sake of cultivating it collectively.
那其实넘버 뒤에 땜说的，那个就不背想的些是吧？背想的，想在从哪办的不知道吧？那想在从哪办的，反正其实넘버 뒤에 공부的吧？想在从哪办，那其实넘버 뒤에 공부的也是吧？想在从哪办的，那想在从哪办，其实넘버 뒤에 공부的，不搞的有的是，那其实넘버 뒤에 공부了，其实넘버 공부了，往头把写一些的，其实넘버 공부了，往头把的写切多。那其实넘버 공부的也是，其实넘버 뒤에 공부的也是。那强制从老把的，其实넘버往头要嘛，对吧？强制从老把其实넘버往头要，啊，多少是的，那其实넘버 뒤에 공부的，我也古巴搞是呢，那其实넘버 공부了往头比切的也是，那的确的。
So, for example, a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation collectively cultivates the aspect of the 3 exalted knowers. So, what is the purpose of doing so? So, it has a purpose because it is for the sake of gaining control in the cultivation of the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers. So, bodhisattvas on the path of accumulation, they have not uh, they have not attained or they have not gained the power in the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers. Therefore, for the sake of gaining control in the aspect of the 3 exalted knowers, Bodhisattva on the path of accumulation selectively cultivates the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers.
说的，当然说，其实넘버了往头在短短的开始去学在的研究问题的话，其实넘버了往头是搞的是呢，往说往头啊，对吧？其实넘버了往头啊，短短的搞的是呢，往头的短短的，那想是从那边其实넘버了往头要嘛，也是我说，那其实넘버了往头把它搞的透过的也是呢，啊，东尼的命很多透过也是，对吧？东尼的命很多，那想是从那边这个东尼的命很多的透要嘛，咱从那边的。다 돈이라는 의미를 한도도 아디 토그를 더 이게 맞죠 그러와 다 상세 전화받이 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토야 말이 에 마토와 순자 다 상세 전화받이 제수 넘버 디네고 에 뭐네 다 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토야 되지 다 제수 넘버라 왕토에서 왕토야 된다 데리다 그러와
제 자신 손을 말하는 데 긴술 인남바 대 왕토요 말이 대동이라 미베 사동 대 토요 말이 대와디
이 토야 그 제수 넘버 디네 공부 해야지 그래서 좀 제수 넘버 왕토에서 된다 가르치는 돈이라는 나도 토스 해야지 나 임바 제수 넘버라 왕토에서 왕토야 된다 가르치는 왕토고 된다 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토야 되겠어 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토했는데 제수 넘버라 왕토고 해야지 그 상세 전화받기 제수 넘버라 왕토야 말 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토야 그랬어 아, 대 돈이라는 의미를 한도 토야 대 제도 제수 넘버 디네 해야지
Yeah, so regarding the meaning of gaining control in the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers, so the example, as mentioned just now, a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, they have not they have not gained the control in the aspects of 3 exalted knowers. So meaning they have not achieved or attained the special insight observing emptiness. So they have not gained control in the aspect of the 3 exalted knowers, meaning they have not attained special insight observing emptiness. So because of not having gained it, therefore they have not gained control in the aspect of the 3 exalted knowers. So in order to gain control in the aspect of the 3 exalted knowers, the bodhisattva on the path of accumulation collectively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
而想是从那把电影看到的话，那就其实那么了，往头把接的公巴的，其实那么定的公巴的也是。
其實你number one top 寫啲當然諗呢啲，他通啲都係啲團得咯。
啲嘅咧，
沒錯。
想是從那把的話，他其實那把定的公布的也是，公安搞的接着，他公安哪都出来的。其實那把了往头来接的也是，其實那把了往头是的搞的是呢，其實公安没哪都头是的搞的也，全在这个意思了，对吧？他想是从那把这个公安里面很多的搞的做过的也是呢。当我其实那把定的公安的，同样的搞这种，让他绝对的你个是，他叫他绝对的搞是公安里面很多头的，其实那把了。往头的也是，
你覺得你最特別高數？
最特
別高數。
我最特別高數，公安很多頭的，那其實那把了往頭的，他们往头下去的公把的话，其實那把了往头的是，但你往最头把的，其實那把了往头的也是。
So the meaning of gaining control in the aspects of three exalted knowers is attaining special insight, observing emptiness. So this is the meaning of gaining control in the aspects of three exalted knowers. So a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has not gained control in the aspect of three exalted knowers. Also means that bodhisattva has not attained special insight, observing emptiness. So in order to attain the special insight, observing emptiness, or in order to attain in order to gain control in the aspects of three exalted knowers, therefore, a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation collectively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So when will a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation gain control in the aspects of three exalted knowers? The time when a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation gain control in the aspects of the three exalted knowers is by collectively cultivating the aspects of three exalted knowers when they attain the heat level of path of preparation. So through collectively cultivating the aspects of three exalted knowers, when the bodhisattva attain the heat level of path of preparation, then that is the time they attain the special insight of observing emptiness. Also, and simultaneously they gain the control in the aspects of three exalted knowers.
我觉得哇，当的上次从那个其实那个定的公司，那其实那个定的公司挺简单的哇，其实那个定的公司简单的，其实你那个希腊圣杯是就有两类的定的公司，是吧？对我哇，其实你那个希腊圣杯是就有两类的定，希腊圣杯是就有两类的定的公司，哎，这个其实你那个定公看的，其实那个定的公司看，其实你那个定的公司看得起公司的也是呢，其实你那个希腊圣杯是就有两类的定的公司。是吧？其实那把希腊圣杯就有两类定公，我这样的的，他不晓得我。
我建议，
可能就大体开始经济才改变。其实那把希腊圣杯是就有两类定的公吧。其实一个人做定。我但其实那个定的公是那的话，
你团大了。
其实那么定的公对的。
So what does it mean by collectively cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers? Or collective cultivation of the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So it means cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers collectively in a practice that is an application of union of calm abiding and special insight. This is the meaning of collective cultivations of the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
我觉得吧，那么这刚才其实那么定的公们讲的讲的这些嘛讲不到，是吧？其实那么定的，我们是看的是呢，其实那么希腊圣杯是就有两类的定的公法的，也是吧？那么希腊圣杯就有两类的定的公法，定也是了，是吧？这公法是在这那么定的公，我是在那个是吧？像在从那边，那其实那么的希腊圣杯就有两类定的公的，像在从那边是吧？从那边其实那么的希腊圣杯就有两类定的公也是。是吧？我的公文，他上次从那把的东南那个希腊圣队的，两个的公文，东南那个好多的公文，的公文我都要买， 이게 더러워.
음.
오늘 내가 실라선데 늘 더러워. 어디 공부야 말이야. 다 간다 제수 나봐 실라선데 조인 안 해. 그래서 와.
So this is what we have to understand the meaning of collective cultivations of the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So as we say here, that for the sake of cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers collectively. So what does it mean by this? So the meaning is cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers collectively in a practice is an applications of union of calm abiding and special insight. For example, a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation collectively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers. Practice that is an applications of union of calm abiding and special insight. So if someone were to ask you, so does it mean that a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has already attained the special insight observing emptiness? Then the answer is no. So they are not able to cultivate. They are not able to cultivate it yet. So it is for the sake of attaining the special insights of observing emptiness. Therefore, they collectively cultivate the aspect of the three exalted knowers. So at that point of time, the bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has not attained the special insight observing emptiness. So because they are unable to cultivate it. So in order to attain the special insight observing emptiness, they collectively cultivates the aspect of the three exalted knowers.
나도 내가 그 상시 통화봐 제시 넘버 뒤에 공사들어 제시 넘버 뒤에 공사들 근데 상시 통화봐도 제시 넘버를 원표가 치데 공부해서 대 상시 통화봐도 나도 한번 내뒤다 나랑 마신게 담보 담네 대받치 보라래 슈동이 뒤로 거다 와 한번 대받치 보라래야 손하나 슈 내신게 뒤에 본다는 안다 모두 도대체 제시 넘버 포도 예스를 거래 마도 야 내뒤지 나랑 슈 이게 저 고바토 이 대지에서 대받침을 손을 내야 쉬는 게 이유로와 얘네와데 실수 넘버를 와 그게 가지고 공부도 가서 더 살아 본인은 클래스에 더 살아
본来研究人啦嘛，修一点做了啊，你看到的
대받침을 하는 게 뭐 손아 봐 유로와 쉬는 거 되게 되시고요. 그래서 내대 가지고 공부도 이제 손을 쉬는 게 이유로와 되게 되시고요. 그래서 이게 뭐게 더 살아 가지고 공부도 해서 더 살아 이게 가지고
동의了密别发动的脱
脱产的，后边东尼马上脱产了，你这个就没事多。东尼公司都因为讲这个节目的，不得把这个拿来去，我去的话，我这个是我。
And here we say that a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation. So in order to gain control in the aspects of three exalted knowers, or in order to attain special insight observing emptiness, they collectively cultivate the aspects of the three exalted knowers. And even when we say a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, it does not refer to a bodhisattva who had previously entered the hearer's path and attained the hearer's arhatship. Then they enter the Mahayana path. So it does not refer to those bodhisattvas who has previously entered the hearer's path and attained the hearer's arhatship. So it doesn't refer to those bodhisattvas. So the bodhisattva on the path of accumulation here refers to those who entered the Mahayana path straight away or directly without going through the hearer's path. So why does it not refer to those bodhisattvas who has previously entered the hearer's path and attained a hearer's arhatship? Is because those bodhisattvas has already attained the direct realizations of emptiness. So therefore, this bodhisattva on the path of accumulation here does not refer to those bodhisattvas who has previously entered the hearer's path and attained the hearer's arhatship.
이게 쇼다 시즌을 얘기하죠. 이제 시즌을. 이거. 이거. 다음으로 디시월 막 간다. 그래서 대수리 넘버 제 디지털 소요로와 确实那么家的，那不就那么家的早出新闻了啊？
那是有啊，
我那是说那么家的早出新闻了啊？那对嘛，你对起呢？那么等到旅行嘛，你对起来是吧？
那是有啊，也namba的给他
我家的早新闻了啊？
跟。
那对嘛，我对起来，那当不对可的嘛，是嘛，我对起嘛学一个啊。
Yeah, so we talk about the aspects of the application in complete aspects. They are 173. So there are 173 aspects of application in complete aspects. So I would like to briefly go through it.
那对嘛，学的看到前身的，那不是说曾经然后嘛，你学过的，你当不学那个成绩多啊，成绩多啊。那其实刚中的那么下一个呢，我们写的就是什么那个的，那什么就是你说写那个时候的，真的是你，那你说写那个时候的，什么就是你说写那个时候，那是理解的是，哇，那当不对嘛，学过的哇。
So the subject, Bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the wisdom that cultivates as any aspect of the three exalted knowers by way of it dawning to the mind is the definitions of a knower aspect of the antidotal class in the continuum of a bodhisattva. This is the definitions of knower aspects of the antidotal class in the continuum of a bodhisattva.
他可能我说根据定期连续写那是吧？这个群里面写过哇，对吧？定期连续写那多啊，对了，写起呢，俺的不，定期写那不来呀个，俺的手机写呢，我的那写起呢，啊写呢，那这些写那是送人的是根据定期那是吧？根据定期写那是吧？这个群里的人，能够没得选中那个情况的，根据定期连续写那是也是的，对吧？我的，懂不得了是吧？那根据定期连续写那是的，是吧？那然后没得选中那个情况的对了，连续写那是有的是吧？
So a knower aspect in this context is the three. A knower aspect that is a knower of basis. So it's different translation. If we refer to another text, then it can also be translated as a knower aspects of a knower of basis. A knower aspects that is a knower of paths in other translation. In other words, is a knower aspect of a knower of paths. So a knower aspect that is an exalted knower of all aspects. So a knower aspects in this context can be divided into these three. So the subject, an exalted knower that is able to destroy its golden class, is the definitions of a knower aspects of the antidotal class indicated in this context. So this is the definitions of a knower aspect of the antidotal class indicated in this context. It is an exalted knower that is able to destroy or overcome its discordant class.
那刚才讲的民俗信仰说的，说的这讲这讲那不起，公里多比一些是原来就会很多啊，非常的公里多比一些说，哦，让我们的选中你的钱吧，也是让我们的选啊，这个主管这个电子电动你的钱吧，是吧？
才是转让给公里多比，
是说，公里多比一些点，对，那然后选中你的钱吧的意思，我们学出来了，让我们学。主管这个电子运动你也给一般有的，这里我谈到了，只能我们的学说一把差不多啊，
然后你就确认那点进去，
是吧
？To see an illustration for a knower aspect of the antidotal class indicated in this context can be a bodhisattva on the path of preparation. Sorry, an exalted an exalted wisdom realizing emptiness by a bodhisattva on the path of preparation. I repeat, an exalted wisdom realizing emptiness by a bodhisattva on the path of preparation is an illustration for a knower aspects of the antidotal class indicated in this context. So, and this exalted wisdom realizing emptiness by a bodhisattva on the path of preparation is an exalted knower is able to destroy its discordant class. So what is its discordant class? Is a true grasping or apprehensions of true existence.
那个的你就学了嘛，业务的，那去的钱呢，哪去的钱呢？哪去的钱呢？说的，别说了，那么家庭造成嘛不是的辛苦是吧？那你的你就学了，对了嘛，业务的，那干的， 业绩天呐，朗西天呐，当机天呐是送来过对吧？我
cấp
得
tỷ đến hiện năm rồi
我感觉你是天呐了嘛，意外就，
nghiên cứu hiện
你来，你其实嘛，那男主角因为那小个在等他几块的，
cấp tỷ đến hiện năm để xuân điều rồi mà chỉ是hiện năm làm sự hiện năm làm năm hiện năm
所有的话，但你说天呐了嘛，有的，但你说天呐了，有的，业绩天呐，那天呐，那天呐，那在送来过，
两千有人
你那么送业务的，不干的你说天呐的是你的话。干的你说现在让我们兄弟里面去把它干的你说现在是你也是，那跟嘛有的，那其实现在那是现在当期现在是送来过来，跟嘛有啊是有的，那有啊别说了，但那不叫那么家的啥时候变了嘛，真的哇，
cấp tỷ đến nghiên cứu hiện năm sinh ý để rồi nên thì cấp tỷ đến nghiên cứu hiện năm cấp tỷ đến hiện năm để cho vào rồi chứ là
你说现在的看看的话，干的你说现在了，
其实但是呢得意外的几把几件了
有啊的，提前了那个干的提前了嘛，提前了送来过来，
cái sĩ sĩ hiện năm làm sĩ hiện năm năm kinh hiện năm xong rồi bây giờ rồi cái này thì cấp tỷ cấp tỷ đến là cấp tỷ đến hiện năm để là xong rồi được
我这干的时候你弄啊，
啊那这
干的你说现在是你是了，干的你说现在对了，这是有的是了。
cấp tỷ đến nghiên cứu hiện năm để ăn xong rồi đấy
干的你说是现在对了送有的还是了，他送个是那几的现在嘛，几现在几现在送有的是了，
so
那就是比较社会的。
So regarding the lower aspects of the antitotal class indicated in this context is the three lower aspects of knower of basis, a lower aspects of knower of paths, and the lower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects.
那就是话，当然就干的你说现在才对了，几的现在，哪几现在，哪几现在是送来过的哇，送来过的。
Yeah, so and we talk about the aspects of application in complete aspects. There are 173, right? And these 173 aspects of application in complete aspects are divided in these three divisions, as I mentioned just now: a knower aspects of knower of basis, a knower aspects of knower of paths, and a knower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects.
那不就那么讲，你当时学会，那边嘛学会，他一的现在了，你去在对，哪些现在了，甚至早读，哪些现在了，这的就，那这的就是最少的说话是对吧？对嘛学会的，但那么其实那么家的早送是学会哇，那其实那么家的早送什么了的，那一的现在了，你去。
天数嘅 number 呀，那啲number 做嘅 number。
那基本上都基本其实那么学会的嘛，就我学会的那么家的早学会哇。
天数嘅 number 啊，
那不是那么，他的那不是。嘛有的 number 的，有的 number 的嘛，给你修的，大家的招数嘛修的哇。
number 做嘅 number，
所以 number 家的招数。
天数嘅 number，你話幾間？
那是说，
哦，
那是 number 家的招数。那家的招数的嘛有的，有的现在你在的，哪些现在的所住，哪些现在的家的就，这也是那是说。
So the 173 aspects of application in complete aspects are divided into these three types, right? And the first one, a knower aspects of knower of basis, they are 27. And the second one, a knower aspects that is a knower of paths, they are 36. And the knower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects, they are 110. So the first one, 27, the second 36, and the last one 110, totaling 173 aspects in application of complete aspects.
但是些 number 你在的，哪些 number 是所住，哪些 number 家的就是，number 家的招数的嘛就，number 罗就我就是结果差的个是吧？那都叫 number 家的招数的哪去，那得写过了嘛，都写的，该写个做嘛是 number 就完是吧？该写个直接做的那都就完了，那都叫 number 家的招数的，对嘛？罗型的家的嘛，他被机器什么结果呢？学个呀，是干的可不学了哇。
So the main object of indication in fourth chapter is application in complete aspects. So in this chapter, then mainly it talks about the 173 aspects of application in complete aspects. So I will go through it briefly. Otherwise, if we were to go through in extensive manner, then it would take a very long time.
这老多当不写的，你怎么我几十能把你说的，怎么写的哇？几十能把你这历史去哇？我的，那怎么几十能把的马新人了你，那能把的那个，也把这个写那个对那是把写我哇？几十能把嘛写个，大部分是写的几十能把的历史哇？
我那个谢谢你。
我几十能把你这写历史，我那不写历史哇？
So I'll first talk about the 27 nowhere aspects of nowhere of basis.
对吧？那一直那么写个了嘛，就但是你这个确定了，
应该是
我确定了写个程度啊，我的，但我说当不说的，先那么大，电脑是你写的，是吧？先那个电脑是你写的，哦，但我说一直那么怎么写个，当不我说那么个电脑怎么写的啊？那么写的，再看到先那么大，电脑是你写的，看到是吧？看到对什么对啥中文的我的，叫我想把我们对我都叫你们写我的哇，对我都叫你们写我的，他看到对我都这个他电脑家庭的早送写我的，电脑家庭早送写我的，是吧？那就是那么的了，那对嘛写嘛我嘛写是早我都叫你们写我，对我都叫你，是吧？那对我都叫你们写我的，那是能把它的写上能把它来电脑的写上你什么写我啊？
So in the treatise of Ornament for Clear Realization, so it talks about the aspects, and aspects can be divided into two. The first one is object aspects, another one is knower aspects. So these are the two types of aspects, object aspects and knower aspects.
这刚才先让说的，我都微博里把是过得出来的哇，先让说的，一些我大把都被落地先让了家，一些我大把都被落有啊，一些我大把都被落地先让了家，一些我大把都掉上了下，是吧？但一些我大把都掉上了下，一些我大把都被落地先让了家，那都是什么些？人家讲几不讲。
Yeah, so to understand these object aspects and knower aspects in a simple way is when we say the mind realizing impermanence of an uncompounded phenomena, mind realizing the impermanence of an compounded phenomena, and that is the knower aspects. The mind, the mind that realizes the impermanence of a compounded phenomena. So it is a knower aspect. And the impermanence of a compounded phenomena is the object aspects. Yeah. So the mind that realizes the impermanence of a compounded phenomena is knower aspects, and the impermanence of a compounded phenomena is the object aspects. So you can also extend this reasoning to other illustration.
你是没打把多的落电脑，现在的是没打把电脑也拿去，刚才个单位就是都被落地，刚才单位都被一些的，现在刚才单位都被一些的现在，刚才个单位的，都下去这个是吧？那都是嘛，都是下场几百几项是吧？他刚说电信嘛，那我电信嘛这样的辛苦，那个几百的是吧？
So similarly, an exalted wisdom that realizes the selflessness of person, so that is a knower aspect, and the selflessness of person is the object aspect. So you can apply this, applies the same pattern to others. So apply the same reasoning to other examples, and we are going to talk about these in relation to the Four Noble Truths.
那老是国家的电脑的，现在你讲的国家搞的这是他主要的任务啊。国家的，我们公务小多啊，其实那么公务小的，公司楼的，国家的现在的电脑你的搞的是他主要的任务，他主要的任务的电脑的现在那个搞电脑的现在你搞国家的也是吧？电脑的现在你搞国家的也是国家的现在这个电脑的是老百姓呢， gonja de shena da tananika res wa.
So we say, so in this context, it says that the bodhisattvas needs to cultivate the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So what is the object of cultivation? So does it refer, is it object aspect or is it a knower aspect? So the answer is both. Both object aspects and knower aspects are to be cultivated, are the objects of cultivation, are the objects of cultivation. So when one cultivating the aspects of three exalted knowers.
那做反正过个呢，现在讲到说起，那讲的那讲什么多少天的恐怕上完也是我，现在结果他偏全部的是吧？现在讲的这说起，那讲的你讲什么中多见的恐怕上完也是我，是吧？那等于我说，现在的台湾那个国家里面是连老三是吧？现在台湾那个国家里，国家有的广大企业是吧？哎，反正过个是呢，现在讲的这说起，那讲的讲什么？中多见的恐怕上完也是，中多见的恐怕上，我的一些我的。这种都阶段我们去不了的。
Yeah, so object aspect and knower aspects, both of them are the objects of cultivations of an aspect in the aspect of three exalted. Both object aspect and knower aspects are the objects of cultivations of an aspect of the three exalted knowers. So how to cultivate it? So as it says on the text, you should cultivate them through eliminating superimpositions with regard to the 173 object aspects by means of the 173 knower aspects. So how to cultivate this? To cultivate through eliminating superimpositions.
咱现在家庭就特殊就点了家庭上了，多多见的恐怕小孩的也是了，我说，他那做诚信的过去把就给小孩的学问的，啊，对的啊，你那去通过的，你那去通过的罗，你那去通过，没大吧，没大吧，你那去通过没大吧都比落酒罗，你那去通过没大吧，都比落点公平，啊，你那去通过没大吧都比落点公的，啊，你那去通过没大吧都比落点公的。那东都가르쳐그러서나 니네 집 뭐 못다봐도 되나 봐. 되나 봐. 되나 봐. 니네 집 뭐 못다봐도 로데 되나 봐. 되나 봐. 아 니네 집 뭐 못다봐도 로 시나티 공지. 아 니네 집 뭐 못다봐도 되나. 뭐 못다봐도 아 다른 정도 치는 거지. 니네 집 뭐 따ban 디바티 정도 치는. 와 니네 집 뭐 따ban 디바. 정도 쇼로 와. 问题我对中多的钱啊，你就通过嘛大半地的，现在在公的，现在在公的，那么中多搞起来，那你的情况嘛大半的，哎，大半你的情况大半这个中多就是话，我中多的钱，我中多的钱的话呢，我们也是钱了，大单中多少钱
？To give an illustrations in relation to this. So, for example, if when cultivating a mind, realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates. So the impermanence of appropriated aggregates is the object aspect, and the mind realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates is the knower aspect. So when you cultivating the mind, realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates, what is the superimposition to be eliminated? So it is the superimpositions is the appropriated aggregates being apprehended as permanent. So this superimposition, which superimposes that appropriated aggregates as permanent. So these superimpositions is to be eliminated when cultivating the mind, realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates. So in this sentence, it talks about the object aspects, which is the impermanence of appropriated aggregates. It talks about the knower aspects, which is the mind realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates. So when cultivating this mind, what superimposition is to be eliminated? It is the superimpositions that superimposes appropriated aggregates as permanent. So this is to be eliminated.
我记着啊，刚刚是中途经常的写不得了啊，现在家庭就早上去，等到家庭了中途经常跟把小的也是他的，我当我说我电把的了，我说等到我电把那个别下一把，我电把个去没打吧，打吧，我打的话是需要的话，
工作人丁过咯，工作人丁过人啊，
他就是必须得我的亲我的话，我电把是有的，我电把去没打吧是有的话，他没打吧有的，我是对待你心里吧，那你我去没打吧。那你那些公婆大吧？我说你公的，那你那些公婆的，电脑的你那些公婆大吧？电脑的去，中途考试是呢，中途你那什么大班成为中途的去那个，那中途去的是的，那你那些公婆大吧？公的，老电公的多些，现在电公的多些，那电脑了中途大去了对吧？电脑你那些公婆大吧？没大吧的了，大吧中途的去了，也是。
So when we talk about when we talk about the true sufferings, and one of the attributes is permanent. So in the illustrations that I mentioned just now, when cultivating the mind, realizing impermanence of operated aggregates. So this impermanence is one of the attributes of true suffering. So true suffering, the one of the Four Noble Truths. So this one of the quality, each noble truth has four qualities or four aspects, and one of it is impermanent. Impermanence, the one of the aspects of true suffering. Then, when cultivating the mind, realizing impermanence of the appropriated aggregates, and as I mentioned just now, the impermanence of appropriated aggregates is the object aspect, right? So in order to cultivate these, what is the superimpositions to be eliminated is uh, the superimpositions that superimposes the incorporated aggregates as permanent. Another way of saying this is apprehensions of appropriated aggregates as permanent. So this is to be eliminated.
因为这边电脑的现在你个公家的也是他的不被晓得吧？那电脑的现在你个公家的也是老啥一把？电脑的现在你个公家干的也是他被晓得，这些没打吧？这些没打吧？公办呢？这些没打吧？这个老公办那些也是的吧？这些没打吧？公的，这些刚刚没打吧？是公的，那你那些没打吧？是公的，你些没打吧？这个老公是吧？这些没打老公，你个晓得对吧？我讲你干的东西，你些去公布的话，你些没打把都是老公了，你些没打把公的不嘞？你些没打把公了，你些没打把都是老公的不嘞？那等到几百人个，我也说啊，你些没打把公的，你些没打把都是老公，你些没打把都是老公的，你些没打把公的。那现在个等到你个公家的也是，是在公大都是分工是吧
？Yeah, so we say that the object aspects and knower aspects, both of them are the objects of cultivations. So when we say that when cultivating the impermanence of compounded phenomena, so is the same. The meaning wise is the same as cultivating the mind, realizing the impermanence of compounded phenomena. So these two are the same. Cultivating the impermanence of outer phenomena and cultivating the mind that realizes the impermanence of compounded phenomena. So these two are the same. So that is why we say that both the object aspect and the knower aspects are the objects of cultivation.
我的，当然说，现在的当然你个公家一把几讲起来，你那你搞多少啊？是公司做的搞的也是呢，那现在的也是，就是目前那些，你身边数量都是那个的，那讲的你送的话，那么就是那个多，那些身边的，那个，当然的现在你个公家的呢，你搞多少讲的，公家做的搞的也是呢，公家做的现在也是，不的多。
So even though we say that both object aspects and knower aspects are the objects of cultivations. However, in this context, as explained in Tsongkhapa's Golden Rosary, that the main object of cultivation here, or in this context, is asserted to be the knower aspects.
我的是。 当然，这个刚才的人，现在的电脑你了，我家做的现在的也是，你我这个，这绝对不去第三的，当然，电脑的理解了的，现在做的说的，让个问题说的了，把你我看得见的，我那的现在。对吧？我说你那去过大半这个当地去有个啊，当地这个他都把年过的，因为你的看到什么？你那去过么大半这个，老对，
我们可以当今，
你那去过大半这个，你那去过大半这个当地这个，年过，因为你他都看到什么？你那去过么大半这个，老对的，老对，现在对的，是吧？我你让我们的说，我是啊，他得讲我你的，你现在查的。是吧？现在
年龄碰波的你到吧？
我年龄情况不大把都落脚了啊，现在是吧？年龄情不大把这个安置学了啊，那了帮我是卡定你家里的，他对家里的说的什么？年龄情况大把落地的，现在对。我那时候上，那是在那的，现在那个做啊，就现在了，我家做现在的也晓得，让我们的就怕农药的，让我们的就怕农药的，你不我是怕家里的，就家里的现在的也是我，现在的。
So even though we say that both object aspects and knower aspects are objects of cultivations, however, among these two, the main one to be cultivated is the knower aspects. So the reason is is the because it refers to the direct antidotes that counteract its discordant class, or it counteracts this discordant class, or destroy or overcome its discordant class. So, for example, the direct antidotes to destroy, so the direct antidote that destroys the apprehensions of incorporated aggregates as permanent. So, what is the direct antidote? It is the mind that realize the impermanence of incorporated aggregates, which is the lower aspects. So, the mind that realizing the mind that realizes impermanence of appropriated aggregates is the direct antidote to destroy the apprehensions of appropriated aggregates as permanent. So, and since this mind realizing the impermanence of appropriated aggregates is the direct antidote to destroy it, this mind is the knower aspects, and therefore it says that the knower aspects is the main objects of cultivation among these two.
我大的那个是被哪里还是哪里的对外是学者吧，哪里的那个是我们多少了，他刚才给当地的，刚才给他们都开始我们多少了吧，这刚的啊，刚才给他们都被落地先上去，刚才给他们落地先把的先上去了吧，刚才他们都被他刚才他们说的先把的先上去，
刚才弄是不多呗，
刚才给他们，刚才他们都被落地先上去了吧，先上去。다들 현업지 다들 랑고 문티쇼도 가르스나 문티쇼도데 강사 다도 완전히 단지 이리와 다 강사 다도 단지 디기 봐 뭐니 뭐서 아 내가 신사 강사 다음에 무엇도 비시데 뭐 코란데 그 가른 내용도 가른 용구도 랑고 문티쇼 용도데 가르치 우리나 강사가 단지 띵지 봐 나시고 매바지 하고 하고 매바지 강사가 단지 띵지 봐 나시지会没把这多的，当基本上是没把多的，刚才个当地的没把差啊，哇，刚才当地的有嘛就把干了，刚才当地可能基本上是没路是的，刚才个当地的这嘛都来说我，他看他是有嘛就干了我多的，那他干了我的。
So in the Lamrim, we also talked about the wisdom directly realizing the selflessness of person. So this wisdom directly realizing the selflessness of person is the knower aspects. So these knower aspects, what does it overcome? So what is it overcome, or what is this wisdom? Sorry, this wisdom is the direct antidote to what? So what is the discordant class of it? And its discordant class is apprehensions of self-graspings of person. Sorry, its discordant class is the self-graspings of person. So wisdom directly realizing the selflessness of person is the knower aspects, and it is able to destroy its discordant class. and its discordant class in this example is the self-graspings of person. So, and by realizing or by understanding that what is apprehended by the self-graspings of person do not exist. Yeah. So what is apprehended by the self-graspings of person do not exist. So when you understand that, or when you realize that, then it refutes the self-graspings of it refutes the self-graspings of person. Another way of saying this is it makes the self-graspings of person cannot produce. So or cannot produce, or cannot manifest, or cannot be generated.
我的说，他们做白，你不看得着啊的，不能我们去了吧？我看得见的，让那个现在我现在啥不会，你不看得见哦，你就得了吧？你不听的，因为没有啊，你要强调是啥？我会等到在现在的做，我家做的啥子，现在的也是老白的，那不是领导啊。等到在现在的我家做的啥子，现在的，他们做不是数据了，这家伙的话，数据了，这生活单位的，我是数据了，刚才到的地方这边，数据了，刚才到这个当时的，这个我呢，他给加了的，那说的，就是刚才的，哪里就是被刚才的当面都被落地吧，他给加过来嘛，刚才的当面是吧？这样子，他给加什么了？刚才的当面是吧？这个话，你刚才的当面吧，是吧？这样子，他给加什么了？我当时就看得见了，刚才个打就看得见了，我当时刚才个打的。我们的大学通过了的大部分这些就是你刚才个大米去落在了这一下去上了当，你了的刚才打的对吧？这个当地这个，因为你这个看的这样对吧？没法说这个，我你说这个了嘛？我这写那个等那我这写等那做的写那个等那你这不记录的，是吧
？So why do we say that knower aspects is the main object of cultivation here? Is because is the direct antidote to its discordant class, or is the one that destroy its discordant class. So because of this reason, the knower aspects is said to be the main object of cultivations. So even if we relate to ourselves, the self-graspings of person in my continuum. So the direct antidote to these self-graspings of person in my continuum is the mind that realizes the selflessness of person in my continuum. So by understanding the meaning and by causing this thought to appear in my mind and then realizing it. So this thought, realizing the selflessness of person in my continuum, is the direct antidote that destroys the self-graspings of person in my continuum. So just saying that, merely saying that a person is selfless. So merely saying this does not help to does not become the direct antidote to the self-graspings of person in my continuum. So by realizing it, the mind realizing the selflessness of person in mind continuum will become a direct antidote to the self-graspings of person in my continuum. So that's why we say that the knower aspects is the main object of cultivation.
到底等到我们地方的程度啊，这大面把它临近工去把它把有工把它，当的我把去把你起码做是我是个送多啊，什么说的送多啊，我到起码做说是那个现场的给去过啊，现场的，现场的现场那个做，现场的做的也是国家做的现场做的也是，那得送多啊，你搞他妈被这电脑不是多。
So hence, from between the two, cultivating the object, as in cultivating selflessness and cultivating compassion, and cultivating the object possesses the mind in the nature of those objects. In the nature of those, here the latter is held to be the main one. So the latter referred to the knower aspects.
我们在那搞没把它年纪工是今年新多啊。他在那的现场工呀的嘛，都年纪工嘛那些的，那个工嘛那些嘛也是，你辛苦多啊，是吧？辛苦多啊，那是现场工呀，我现场工呀的是吧？他的等到的我们还讲是工嘛，挺费啥的。当我们现在的上啥，他可能已经都不知道是吧？那说大没工是吧的， 다음에 봐 공부서 돼 진단 주의되시는 공부래 다음에 조금만 공스케 공스 만도 신화지 신이 봐 다음에 공부서 돼 진단 주의되시는 공부 공부니 공부서 돼 진단 주의되시는 공부 내려와 다 전부다 니지 아주 수행 공부서 돼落地 다니 뭐 되는 거 전부다 니지로와 전부다 니지 공부서 돼落地 다니 뭐 되는 거 봐. 나도 저 공부 만도 니 이거는 먼저 뭐 시사로와 나도 공부다 이거 참 되게 가다가 저 너무마라 차대가 저달로 차대가 공부와 좋아.
Tadi ni kasi tami kumbasati di sinang yuni.
다음에 공부하서는 진단 주의시는 공부를 해서 ninja 공부하다 다다들 비셔도 다음에 공부하다 ninja 공부 니노로 시가 전화서는 ninja 공부를 시켜 그래서 기나서 ninja 공부 예 뭐 ninja 맞아 비셔네 뭐
me kumbaine di nam kumbaroi.
뭐 다음에 공부는 진단 주의시는 공부를 와 누나 공부가 누나 공부를 와 진단 주의시는 공부를 와
Nam kumbar. Nam ra. Ini di ninja kumbaden so ini di sinam kumbar. Kaya sana di lo di mo jiu kini. So here it says that between the two, cultivating selflessness. So cultivating selflessness is an application, sorry, is an illustration of cultivating the object aspect. So we talk about the two aspects, object aspects and knower aspects, right? So cultivating selflessness is the cultivating the object aspect, and cultivating compassion is the knower aspect. Cultivating compassion is the knower aspect. So cultivating the knower aspect. So why do we say so? Is because cultivating selflessness, and this I have mentioned many times before, that cultivating selflessness or cultivating emptiness is a meditation by taking. So it's a meditation on the object of the modes of apprehension. So cultivating selflessness, cultivating emptiness, and etc. So those are the cultivating. Those are cultivations of the object aspect. So they are, and when we talk about the different types of meditations, one of it is meditation on the object of the modes of apprehensions. So these meditations on the object of the modes of apprehensions is the aspects, is the cultivations of object aspect. And cultivating compassion, loving kindness, and etc. So those are knower aspects. So when we talk about the ways of meditations, and it is the meditations of cultivating the mind in that nature. So in the nature of compassion, in the nature of loving kindness, etc. So those meditations, cultivating the mind in that nature, refers to the cultivations of knower aspects.
네. 다들 가서 다들 이제 심화도 소소하게. 그래서 다시 나 공부하자 가서 로디 단지 뭐 니지 공 상과 공부서하게 가서 로디 니지 되게 뭐라 공개 지도도 니지 뭐라지 상과 뭐라 지 와, 상과
로디 니지
로디 뭐라 지 그래 뭐 맞아 메타바다 돈반이 공부서 되는 시 저요 메타바다 돈반이 공부서하게 현지단 지요 지요 메타바지 상당 때 공개 지도 성례로 와 다단답에 신앙 고사 想인지 고사 늘 빼셔오니 인지 공의 로디 아니 인지 뭐지
공개인기 로디
거기 로디 인지 뭐지 근데 공부를 마도 가서 메타가 공부하다 또는 공부하는 것이 말이었어요 이 말이었어 내가 뭐 시선이다 저한테 제마제마 좀 어떻게 보자 같이 비싸다
Yeah, so regarding the ways of meditation, so if you have heard it before, then try to remember, try to recall and not forget it. So because when we talk about the ways of meditations and the meditation, one of it is meditations on the object of the modes of apprehensions. Then the example is meditating on impermanence, meditating on emptiness, and etc. So, and that is the object, and then there is a mind to meditate on it. So when we say uh, and when we say the talk about the way of doing meditations, and one of it is meditate by generating or cultivating the mind in that nature. of generating the mind in that nature. The illustration for this is cultivating passion, cultivating loving kindness, and etc. So it is the mind that doing the mind that is the cultivate the cult how to say the mind which is the cultivator, or the mind that is the meditator, was generated in the nature of compassion, loving kindness, and etc. So the mind itself, the mind that is doing the meditations, that mind itself is generated in the nature of compassions. So that is the cultivations of the lower aspects.
那我就拿进工的继续这一个讲了，讲讲说，我大把的考察了当年公办的，其他局的现在公办的也是吧，长把的年纪公办的，我的当年我进来公办的，长把的年纪，我长把的年纪，就一些自工的呢，我的我的当年我进来公办的是，是吧？我进来公办的，怎么的去的？你说的怎么样？现在是这样的话，我这公司的，公年大协会的是吧？公介绍的公等他的就公大几嘛些白那都公司呢，我这第四个了吧，知道是吧？知道我是公记下的公司的公立电话的嘛的，你是公立电话的呀，公立电到了马上啊，有了呀，是马上有个，那不是咱们是公看的，人是公的要下回来去多啊。
So we always talk about doing meditations. I need to meditate on this and that. So we also need to understand the ways of ways of doing meditations. Otherwise, if we keep saying doing meditations, then also it doesn't serve much purpose to just by saying that, oh, I'm doing meditation on this and that. So meditation in general means habituations or familiarizations. So, and we also need to know the ways, the different ways of doing meditations. And then, as I mentioned just now, there are, how's it, among the ways of doing meditations, there are, how's it, in this context, it refers to two types of doing meditations, or two ways of doing meditations. The first one is meditating on the object of the modes of apprehensions, meditating on the object of the modes of apprehensions, such as meditating on impermanence, meditating on the substances of person. As for cultivating loving kindness, so this word Gom in Tibetan, the meditation in Tibetan is called Gom. So it can be translated as to meditate, or it can be translated as to cultivate. So to the cultivations of loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta is the type of meditation by generating the mind in that nature. So in the nature of loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta.
哦，对，那你这样子的公的，我们学校的怎么呢？做是吧？公的我这边是吧？我这特别进步上来嘛，现在我这让了嘛，现在他说机会进，就讲的嘛，现在说机会进，那长久是谁公办的了？
最近给咱们马中英也是给我。
我是最近让了嘛，现在嘛，对不对？咱嘛去看啥老牛了，让了嘛，现在等你看啥个，长久是谁公办的？我这公的了，我这看你明天我看你去打个电话，我说嘛，我们学生吧，是吧？长久是谁公办有老多啊？长久谁公办有的，特别这边让了嘛，现在了。老嘛就是讲啥，长久是先公办有的也是，是吧？人家长久先公办的了，看到我说我们的你跟着打的是吧？长久先公办的了，你切把看得懂，我说长些从来把的长久是先公办的了，老嘛去，老嘛去看到第一个长久是先公大，先公办的了，第二公办的了，他那个你切把没到看得到的是吧？长些从来把的长久是先公办的。是吧？详细的，对吧？这个长点嘛，这个老嘛是刚才这个长久先公办的了，你呢，你谈的嘛到看到，你到底忙不拉啥的，这样子老的话，这个见面了知道的。
Yeah. So if you have not forgotten it, then I talk about the different ways of doing meditations. So now I would like to ask you a question. Questions. So these questions is a person who has not entered path, an ordinary beings who has not entered path. So if these ordinary beings cultivates bodhicitta. So what is the way of what is the name of the way of doing meditations? What do you call such way of doing meditations? What is the name for this way of doing meditations? So similarly, a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, cultivating bodhicitta. So again, what is the name for this way of doing meditations? If you have not forgotten, then please, then you can unmute yourself. So there are two different ways of doing the meditations, right? The first one is an ordinary beings who has not entered path, cultivating bodhicitta. So what is the name for this way of doing meditations? And the second one is a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, cultivating bodhicitta. Again, what is the name for this way of doing meditations?
칼라님도 사상이 내서라고 그랬어. 칼라님도 렌즈도 칼라님도 막 칼라 쇼가 뒤송가 나는 사상이 생각을 했어.
냠도 사상.
Can I try? Can I say is try to cherishing other than oneself?
We are asking what is the name? What is the name for that particular type of doing meditations? Yeah, not asking about the illustration.
Oh, what's the name of the meditation?
The way of doing meditations. There are 6 ways of doing meditations.
Oh, okay. I can't answer. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So and then Kishala say that in Sarah, then those those teacher when they after they taught the class, after they taught the class, and then they will ask questions to the students. So if students are unable to answer the questions, then the teacher will say, so did you eat the answer together with your meals? So you eat 3 times a day, right? So have you eaten it eaten your answers with the meals?
Yeah. Geshe has said that before. Yeah, that one I know.
是
你把这真实两的老的这两的什么老记得，俺说的公提个了，但俺说的你我不是大事了哇，俺说老妈说呢，长久些，马头个这个长久些，我俺的俺说没把一起过嘛的，长久些，长久些对的结是对吧？这俺说没把一起呢，长久些对的结对吧？这我俺的嘛的长久些呢，有了这要嘛的哇，
没把一起过，
我没把一起过，没把一起过是了的哇，
想去生
我老妈就是这对，长久些我俺的。长久些关的米的，没把一起，把这也是没把一起过嘛。啊，没把一起过嘛，我说长久些经济吧就关的了哇，经济没把一起过嘛，也是，我的老妈是你过去的了。
So yeah, so the first way of doing the meditations for an ordinary beings who has not entered the path. So these ordinary beings cultivating bodhicitta or cultivating bodhicitta. So they have not developed bodhicitta. So if they cultivate they are doing meditations on bodhicitta or they are cultivating bodhicitta, their cultivations of bodhicitta is a cultivations of approximate bodhicitta. So their cultivations is a cultivations of approximate bodhicitta because they have not developed the bodhicitta yet, right? So their cultivations of bodhicitta is called a meditations out of admirations and belief.
那我这还有几公司，我对那你对我晓得，这个几公司对吧？我大多没把一起公司，公司是吧？啊，没谁个的，这里我是的，我介绍的你是多少嘛？是吧
？So similarly, a cultivations of divine pride in the tantric context is also a type of a meditation out of admirations and belief. Unless you have actually developed it, otherwise cultivations of divine pride would be meditations out of admirations and belief.
我觉得，我说老婆喜欢这个，像生活这里的，没把一起公嘛，也是吧？没把一起公的，对了，他公司的，俺就谁的解释公吧去，明白去，就我也是公的了嘛都，我也是，俺就谁的这个嘛哇。 他想说从那边想去谁公巴的，但是我在这边公的，我记了这里公巴，我说公给民系大人吧，记了这里公巴的是吧？想去谁的，记了这里公巴。他想说从那边想去谁记了检测的，检测的，也不一公关上嘛。
你明的搞的谁搞的？
记了这里公，记了这里公巴，是吧？我的记了这里公巴是吧？我的话，然后记了这新巴是吧？那记了这里公巴的是吧？那边一直公关嘛，想是从那边想去谁的。
And the way of doing meditation for the second example, bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, cultivating bodhicitta, is meditations that has already generated in one's mind stream. A meditation that the meditations after generating in one's continuum or mind stream. So meaning the bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has already developed bodhicitta in their continuums, right? In the continua. So if a bodhisattva cultivates bodhicitta, since they have already developed bodhicitta, so it is a meditations after generating in one's mind stream. So if not a meditation or meditations on the approximate bodhicitta, because bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has already developed bodhicitta. So it's called meditation after generating in the continuum.
地方这样做，我知道我做我晓得是吧？地方做兄弟这个你看你考的是吧？你看了我是我做，是就我做现在的话，我我的做的话，我你了是吧？我觉得意思，我的我做你看你的到我只能的，是吧？你不是什么我做兄弟嘛，现场就是，是什么你讲的电还是可以现在的话。
And similarly, dedications is also a type of meditation. So again, what is the name for this type of meditation? Do you remember still?
On the analysis. Meditation by analyzing the characteristic.
아니, 가자. 친이 주베 뭐.
뭐 진짜 뭐. 뭐다 뭐다 뭐죠. 멜론지 남비 공원에서 되네. 멜론지 남비 공원에서 뭐 제한도 뭐 제와데 멜론지 남비 공원에서 되네. 멜론지 남비 공원. 그래서 뭐 제와다 멜론지 와 멜론지 주당的有참마的멜론지 남비 공원에서 되네. 我是兄弟，那都是咱们公司怎么你怎么我是兄弟我他妈新疆就让的，但我弄我喜欢结果的话，
So it's not the type of meditations analyzing the characteristics, but rather dedications and say doing prayers and etc. It is meditations in the aspects of prayer or wish. So dedications or prayers, saying prayers, is a type of meditation, and that type of meditation is called meditation in the aspects of prayer or wish.
那等到这种的，等到如果去老说啊，谁就是今天我们说的这个的，谁就是今天我们说的，我做呗，弄到我今天能去把头要买，是吧？能去头要买的，是吧？马头啊，是不是？他被能去叔叔被能去头家，人家人路上。我嘛别，像这从老板的我这个，像这交浪别多吧，像这交浪别多吧，好像多半的你这人路上三两把以下钱，你三了以下钱的，对，对的，像这从老板的我这呢，像这交浪别多吧，好像这交浪别多吧，你这人路上三了是以下钱的，三了以下钱，也就是呢，经济是进的多，经济是进的多是对的，经济是进的。
So the type of meditations that Dr. Ko you mentioned just now is the meditations by analyzing the characteristics. So the example would be like, for example, I have not attained omniscience. So this omniscience is the object of attainment. So I'm thinking, I bring to my mind or cause the objects of attainment to appear in my mind, then that meditation is called meditation by analyzing the characteristics. Similarly, another example, like half of a person who is on the path of accumulations, then they have not, this person has not attained the path of preparations, right? So these the objects of attainment or the realizations of path of preparation is the object of attainment. So causing these objects of attainment to appear in one's mind is the meditations of analyzing the characteristics.
要等到我做工，他基本上打工这些是工，我是忙到你行啊，行啊，行啊，我在这种忙地方，就以后嘛的很大，我接到找你以后嘛，工干地这个呢，少干入几工就这样嘛，这工找你以后嘛。
So any type of meditations that you do that you have heard of, then all types of meditations are included in these 6 types or 6 ways of meditations.
Sheila, can I ask a question? In the text, it looks like cultivating compassion is it as number 1. You see page 8. Cultivating object, for example, cultivating selflessness and cultivating compassion. But just now, Sheila explained cultivating compassion is more of the knower aspect, the mind aspect. But the sentence sound like the example is given for the object aspect.
Di picture di nang lo la yoro di ni ga ship chu she tuen di wala de ta na tam me ba tang ning je gong ba she ba ta lo gong ba tang din de ta ni du lo gong ba che ba ni le di chi ma zuo song os ni kai sin na zuo ge ngang zuo di in ji picture di nang lo la ni di ta me ba se de ta me ba tang ning je gong ba she ba ni di yu gong ba sei shi des
没有对吧？这嘛的，到面巴当，你这恐怕写把大我大些，有恐怕当是几把结果，大没恐怕写过。你这的，你的恐怕在，你的恐怕在哪里？
他们把那的有恐怕，你的恐怕那的有见恐怕。
我有这恐怕，你看，真的很大。到面巴当，你这我写把大，有恐怕当是怕结果多啊。大没恐怕写过。有恐怕是大没恐怕，你上去的时候公司来一把等你。有这的，你的老恐怕写吧，你的也是，你的当恐怕你这啊，你管，你这管的，你这这个工作老的，你当你我这个，也得也别想不着，那等你了，做什么起码做的，你这啥话？啥话？我的，这什么的，这引起了我这个就
就当
去当嘛，这么这电话罗的，我也电话罗的，
对，罗当的罗。Yeah. So so you how say if this sentence, sorry, yeah. So this way of translating this sentence is here comes from between the two, cultivating the object, as in cultivating selflessness and cultivating compassions, then and cultivating the object possessors. So it seems how say the structure of the sentence is might not be so accurate, so it would be better to translate like this. Hence, as in cultivating selflessness and cultivating compassions, the first is cultivating the object, and the second is cultivating the object possessors. So cultivating selflessness is an illustration of cultivating the objects or the object aspect, and the second, cultivating compassion, is an illustration of cultivating the object possessors or meditating on the object of the modes of apprehensions. So because cultivating compassions is cultivating the mind in the nature of that, like for example, of compassions. So if the sentence, if the way of translating this sentence, if sounds like these two are grouped in the cultivating the object, then this translation might not be accurate.
这运气才是叫老板们，就是叫他去读的
那是哦。
不如我也是等于是就那个老板说呢，
那是。
是大家呢，这个是拿去公用的写大的，而且咱们国把它搞成自刚独立性的，我是跟别的写过，我说嘛，公除了嘛下午的过，咱们的东北的国嘛，上去就写过。 아, 이제 로이 가서 공부해서 와서 니들다 컨디션이라 정말 뭐야 저 마도 아무래도 돈이 고마라 이제 로이 가서 공부해서 되시고 내 인지배 마 지지상배 로와서 이게 저 장에 무슨
Yeah, so cultivating, yeah, so if we understand from this translation, the cultivating the object as in cultivating selflessness and cultivating compassions, if this sentence says that these two grouped under the cultivations of the object aspect or cultivating the object, then I'm 100% sure that this translation is not accurate. Because when we say cultivating selflessness or meditating on selflessness, meditating on emptiness, then those are the meditation on the object of the modes of apprehensions, and those are cultivations of the object aspect. As for whereas cultivating compassion, loving kindness, bodhicitta, then in the ways of meditations, it refers to the meditations by generating the mind in that nature, or in the nature of compassion, bodhicitta, and etc. So, which is the cultivating the object processes or cultivations of the lower aspects. 因这公巴是这样，有件公巴前南公巴的这场嘛。
那就可能对家的，可能家是，前那个电脑公巴的对家的结果在这搞东西吧，是吧？前那公巴的话说，当然这个公巴是嘛，我都写过来的，我们写的不给当地新公巴是要对的，你那说前那公巴的，是吧？前那公巴，那就搞出来，前那公巴、电脑公巴是你写的哇，我你写的，电脑公巴是话的话说，市场区的新公，大部分相多啊。市场区的新公巴的，没大把的公巴的，咱们做公的市场区的新公巴的。
Yeah, so in this context, we are talking about cultivating the object aspect and cultivating the lower aspects. So, meditating or cultivating selflessness, emptiness, impermanence, then those are the examples of cultivating the object or cultivating the object aspect. As for and cultivating compassion, bodhicitta, loving kindness, and etc. Those are the examples of cultivating the object processes or cultivating the lower aspects, which is by generating the mind in the nature of that of those objects.
Any question? You have question? What did you say to the What did you say to the
Then the Chokyi name, Do you have any other question?
Yes. I have a question. How does a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation cultivate the lower aspect of exalted knower? Because that area is the domain of the Buddhas. So how does a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation be able of cultivating the lower aspect of the exalted wisdom, of the exalted knower? Because the exalted knower is in the domain of a Buddha. So that's why I'm thinking, how does a bodhisattva on the path of accumulation cultivate something that belongs to the domain of a Buddha?
So, ini dia sanggigi kum je be, sanggigi kum. Ya, sanggigi kum namking gi shenam ina di sanggigi sala yorwa. Namking gi shenam sete. Sanggigi kum, ya na sanggigi sala yore. Sanggigi sala yorwa. Ini dia Gyaltsen solamba, jadi kata namking gi shenam di untuk res. 没事，那得那你先那边那得看你。
我也不当是的，这个是人的先女有的是的，是吧？他讲这从老把做给，我说让这个心理建设的工作最关键。
讲是说了嘛？
我讲是从老把的这个，让心理建设的工作，那让个拖下，让这个对，所以他就我是说的，他基于一些，把那个理解人都啥的，心理建设的工作。 제 제스케는 공부도 요래서 또 난지를 깨는 공부도 요 말이에요. 좋아. 남지도 뭐데 그렇게 공부도 요 말이에요. 이치는 공부도 요 말이에요. 신이 제스케는 공부도 요래서 가지.
당기기 신험
오,
자대로 당기기 신험.
어디? 이때 양으로서.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. So, Bodhisattva on the path of accumulation cultivates the knower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects by analyzing the characteristics. So, as I mentioned just now, one of the way of meditations, right? So, one of it is called meditation by analyzing the characteristics. So, Bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, cultivating the knower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects by analyzing the characteristics. It is not a meditation after generating in one's continuum. So because Bodhisattva on the path of accumulation has not attained the knower aspects of an exalted knower aspect, right? Knower aspects of an exalted knower of all aspects, therefore is not a meditation after generating in one's continuum, but rather it is a meditation by analyzing the characteristics.
늘 나지디 스타가 리그레스 저들 나지디 스타가 이랬대. 맞아. 지당 나도 나지. 너한테 보말아. 너한테 줄에 깨고래서 들리지요. 너한테 보말 너한테 줄에 깨고래서. 아따는 가서 공수고만 나온다서 제발 시우리 계속도 하고 살아. 근데 공부 지역이 치버지도 와. 공수고 나온다서 막 시대에 대공대 뭐에서 공치잖아. 미다바거나 남치거나 스스로 어서 갈고 남치 그거 산티살 요로와 남치데 공이 다 랑 줄에 깨는 뭐 깨는 거야게 요마. 내 공부야게 요마. 이나 아 신이 제스지는 이샤전에 공부돼요. 신이 제스지는 공부돼요. 다 남치 공부 처음 메시나 가서 카투시나 저거 저기 디스 래 디스 저거
Yeah, actually, it's a very good question because it also comes out in the debate that when we say cultivating path in general, when we say cultivating path, it also means that generating that path in the continuum. So if you say cultivating the omniscience or cultivating the knower aspects of an exalted knower, then which only exists in the domain of Buddha or in the ground of Buddha. So, and if you relate it to the different ways of doing the meditations, then it becomes very easy to understand. Right? It is a type of meditation by analyzing the characteristics.
저 저면은 가서 돼 아마 이거도 막 시중에 가서 시시지 권리디 요로 사실 쇼도 이강을 좀 발로 돼. 와.
If you have no more questions, then I will continue. So then we go to page 13.
어디 가서 어쩌다 가서 공부도 도스 지와 이거 공부 시고야 그 지나 보는 가서 그거는 뭐 공부 비제 시고인데 가서 공부 단다 공부 마 쳐도 소리 좋아 쓰기 봐도 공부 시고디 또 저기가 하구나 하고 놓아 마도 시야도 지와 그 신앙 공 대나 공부는 아다 공부자 그 비제 시고디 또 땅에 봐 누가 차도 그래 그래서 인지문지 시고
So why did I introduce different ways of meditation is because in this context, it talks about cultivations of aspects, cultivations of object aspect, cultivations of knower aspects. That's why I give a brief introductions on different ways of meditation.
정말 맞은 거야. 나 이치는 니 디어서 대 맞은 거야. 아무 때워는 거야. 이게 지시나 코라는 거 진이 알게. 아무 대시 맞죠. 와. 예, 네 마시 맞죠. 아 이게 지시나 코라서 반드 샤고스나 다 이게 공지 넘버 집에 관리 첨박하고 재미 도스 첨박 됐어. 좋아. 다 이게 공식 넘버 집에 합의지 첨박하고 재미 도스 첨박 이게 현업이 생기서 다들 이게 현업서도 그렇지 그래서 와.
身边举几些，些给没别去了，路处是很多都被念不的嘛。
我이시지 뭔지 넘버 가지
些
첨박
给那
아
没听哦，对对
이거
对，
뭐 그것도 이시 현업 식으로 와 이시 현업 막 이거 마이리가 너무 이시 현업 광식으로 하고 와 이시 현업 그런 거 식으로 나 이시 현업做的感觉식으로 해서나我对现在이시 현업 넘버你식으로 와对你的마신이나 뭐 이시 현업 그런 거 식으로 와 그런 거에서나 그다 이시 공식 넘버 지 가지 첨박하기 temes dos neba de git kena di sinisro git kena so de buri esro
Yeah, so the meaning of the text, there are 27 aspects of the knower of basis. Before I talk about the 27 aspects of the knower of basis, then we must understand what is the or what is the nature of knower of basis. In other way of saying, this is what is the definition for a knower of basis. So then you can refer to page 14. The definitions of a knower aspect of a knower of basis is an insorted knower in the continuum of an area. It is an aspect. It is an object of cultivations of a knower of basis, and that which abides in the class of Hinayana realizations.
那等理解我这把程序就没什么呢没什么呢感觉全是做的呢你下就不哇的一起看到的了看到了你就到这没继续相当这个的你就到这看到咱们我是做的看到一些的那个对你就到这没继续看到咱们我是做的一些一级公斤那么几个花几千吧也是请你孙女多请你的孙女多一级公斤那么几花几千吧也是请你孙女吧的现在都是吧也是孙女多请你这个你看到这个请你孙女多当不得了等于你就到就刚才咱们说过一些的刚的一级公斤那么几个花几千吧也是那天天都是你吧也是也说着那得一级现那的也是
So illustration for a knower aspects of a knower of basis is the exalted wisdom directly realizing the selflessness of person in the continuum of a hearer's arhat. Then is an illustration for a knower aspects of a knower of basis. Because this exalted wisdom directly realizing the selflessness of person in the continuum of a hearer's arhat is a knower aspect of a knower of basis. Because it is an exalted knower in the continuum of an area. There is an aspect, there is an object of cultivations of a knower of basis, and it also abides in the class of Hinayana realizations. So because it fits in the two parts of the definitions of a knower aspect of a knower of basis, therefore, an exalted wisdom directly realizing selflessness of person in the continuum of a hearer's arhat is an illustration of a knower aspect of a knower of basis.
야, 당하도 때 급시바도 때 계정 시다래 자막에 뭐티네 야고 장로 시스로와 근데 저 다들이 대 샤그리스로와 다 디세 디세스와 제는 가서마 이게 넘어 디디 넥서디 망고즈는 쉬어 있어와 제는 진짜데 저거 데가 로스 이게 넘어 디디로와 해마 쉬어 있어.
Yeah. So it's very important to understand the fourth chapter. So I sincerely encourage everyone to continue to study. So then before next class, then please read the 27 divisions of knower aspects of knower of basis. Or you can, from here. Then page 13, meaning of the text. From here, then you can read. So I will stop here.
공사장을 좀 추기 좀 된지 좀 사서 거기 시주는 때마다 그래서 이제 좀 소품을 제거다 그러나 맞아 맞아 먹어 줘 되게 너무 좋아서 뭐지 무슨 뭐 요즘 요새 좀 내도 편 我比那些学什么学理由鸡汤，这个呢，等待意大利马有些什么巧度，马子吧，没得多呀，我是没吧，对，使用了这个理由多，没吧，这个你得多呀，看到你得多呀，马的使用了这个第一境界，事情往往就清楚也是的，这块他们的这个地方他们甚至去恐怕把你得多，你去的吧，我今天鸡汤。과 자니 유럽이나 봐 이거 쉬는데 봐 뭐요 다 마그다 니야라서 봐 뭐요 다 같이 비면 근데 빅치도 봐 이제 와서 디치스
So we conclude with dedication. We dedicate the roots of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. We also dedicate these roots of virtue for all holders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, to have good health, and may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all the directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue to our beloved teacher, Kyabje Lama Zopa, for our beloved teacher, Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, just like before, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the profound teachings from Rinpoche again. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace. May excellent happiness prevail in the world. May wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disasters such as quakes and etc. Be pacified pacified immediately. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to those who pass away, especially those who pass away in the disaster and natural disaster. May their negativities accumulated be pacified immediately and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. Zabe kewa te tendang zhawa kanda kambe na kewa jesu lo san zhaba yi tenbe nyingbo rindu se je shu tu sem chou rinpo che ma ke pa na ke kyu je kewa nyamba me pa yang ko te ko do me wa chu jida ke ma dang ko do sam po te an te jin te te da ku ke jesu da so che ke wa te da nam je ra po ong yi ta wa rinpo che ma ke pa na ke kyu je kewa nyamba me pa yang ko te ko do me wa chu Nawa Rinpoche ma ke pa na ke kyu chi ke pa nyam pa pe pa yang gu ne gu do pe pa shu. Yi jing che sun do ju pe la chi che se se kan chen che du gun cha na pe mo fen zeng jia zhu la. Wa de so je su ju do. Jo ji de kan te pe de ma le ma kan te ju sa pe yi shen yo ka de su pe de zeng jia zhu la. So de do tu je de do shu da pe de pa che se ne ra. Mo san de wa ya se ke pa de na cha shi de ka yo. 今天没把这边给人做用户这边都点的过去，写到这边直接白完了，那样必须是别国家的，成为截止那么说话的。今天马里就业国际会点到马就多也看到只有这把这边摩托和新华西的，问到这个江浙新闻到建设那些都给了我接路北的给人都上北中，给上都些别的有些说，要为各位新干那边那地方嘛都就会的，天天是我们这个主人这边身体不都得就。Thank you.